Okay, now welcome to the podcast. This is a guest I have for quite a while. She's been begging me for tips on how to do interviews for a while, and she stole my nickname, the interview queen. Alicia Atout. Alicia, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm actually doing surprisingly great. More on that later, and you'll see what I mean.
Well,
But
thank you so much for having me on.
no problem. But I've got to start off with a question, and this may set the tone for the rest of the interview. We're either going to have a lot of awkward silences, or we're probably going to have a real laugh. I've heard your favorite band is Kiss, right?
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of them. They're definitely like my top three.
Right. But the big question is this: 70s or 80s Kiss?
70s.
Oh fuck.
Do we disagree?
Yeah. No. Well, it was nice having you on.
Thanks for your 5 seconds.
I'll have to edit it down. But I gotta ask you a question about interviews with rock stars and stuff because of course I'm on your YouTube channel and I've seen you do interviews with people like Jake Bugg and Bobby Gillespie, and
Right.
the one you did with Jake Bugg is kind of infamous in certain circles because over here he has a really bad reputation for uh, one note fucking half answers to questions, but you actually got him laughing and smiling. So, what's it like for when you're interviewing someone and you can tell that it's not going right?
Well, I feel like my biggest thing is I try to, before going into the interview and when I'm doing my research, I really try to take a step back and almost analyze the person. If I'm watching, let's say, Jake Bugg do interviews and I'm watching a bunch of them and maybe he isn't smiling so much and maybe he is the type of person that takes the interviews a bit more seriously, I kind of make it my goal to think, all right, I'm going to be that person that really brings stuff out of him. I want to make him laugh. I want to have a good time and bring out that other side to him so people can see this is why my interviews are a lot of the time different from others. So that was my goal going into that interview, and luckily it worked and we had a really great time just shooting the breeze back and forth. And I've been really lucky where I really haven't had too many interviews go downhill, and I don't know if it's because I just prep in a way where I won't let it. Like, I'm so determined to just have a fun time every time I sit down with somebody, so I've really been lucky in that regard.
Yeah, yeah. Because my whole rule is, even though it's obviously an interview, but just make it a conversation.
100%. That's the most important part.
Plus, it's like if we were out drinking, and believe it or not, I do. Like I wouldn't sit you down and ask you stuff that I know you've probably spoken about all day. I would say, right, what's gonna be a laugh with Alicia?
That's exactly it. It's one of those things where if I can find it on Wikipedia or if it's been asked 100 times, why are you going to drill that person's brain? Like, why are you going to bore them to death with something we already know the answer to? Like, I think that's our job as interviewers. It's to find those little fun nuggets that people want to actually talk about and they haven't had to repeat themselves over and over about.
Yeah, it's like I did this interview recently with this Canadian lady, and she said that she preferred 70s kiss to 80s kiss, and I actually vomited all over myself.
I don't understand how you could like 80s kids more than 70s kids. Like that kind of makes you a little crazy. Destroyer is my favorite album of theirs, which was in the 70s. So it's like just based on Destroyer alone, you have to go with 70s kids.
That is disgusting. I'm gonna have to edit that out. This is not working.